Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Today's date is Sunday, May 28th, 2023. You know, I often speak about a trait, a virtue I call resilience, the ability to be in it to win it for the long haul, the ability to no longer give in to fear porn, the ability to rise above people who scoff at you and call you names or say you're crazy for believing the way you do or for not complying or what have you. It takes resilience. It takes grit. And I want to, in this video, do a read about resilience. But first, I want to share with you a blog. And I can't do a direct link to the blog, but as always, there will be a Facebook link in the video description box, which can take you to what I'm going to show you via the share screen. It's to a blogger who has had difficulty maintaining access to channels, and because content gets removed, what have you. Okay, we can all kind of relate to that. All right, but as I read what is written on this blog, I find it heartening, interesting. I found a couple of theories that I want to do digs on later. And if you, like me, like to do a little of your own research and read, or if you've been trying to find out where in the world this person, this writer has gone, I can show you one way to find them. And without further ado, let's go to the share screen. Okay. Okay, so this name, Lives Matter, is the name of the blog. Okay, he's been removed from numerous sites and places. Even Buy Me a Coffee, that has allowed me to have, you know, an account there, has removed him. So I would not be highlighting this if you couldn't read everything that's available for free, and you can. But if, as you read, you feel spirit-led to subscribe and donate, I don't think it would be a waste of your money. I'll just say that. That's as close to an endorsement as you're going to get from me. And even then, I will remind you, it is possible to read everything that's on this blog at no charge. It's not a subscription only or a firewall type of site. Let's go to it. Okay, now this is what the homepage is going to look like when you get there. And I want to click on this. The title is A Movie Designed by God to Awaken the Sleeping Populace. Okay, he's got a lot of, here's another one about resilience. Interesting comparisons here to some things we've talked about on my channel. Interesting things here going on down. I haven't found, a lot of times I will give you a qualifier and say, I'm only recommending this article from this site. It is not a blanket endorsement. I think this is as close to a blanket endorsement as I would be able to give. Okay, now I'll be scrolling here. So if scrolling bothers you, you know, like the old microfiche machines used to bother people, look away and I'll tell you when I'm stopping, okay? I'm just gonna share a couple snippets with you, okay? Okay. Well, he talks about, hang on, I'm still scrolling because I was trying to find a favorite quote I liked. I'm just going to stop here and just mention that, okay, so I've stopped scrolling. We're in a spiritual war and many sleepwalk through life oblivious to the reality of evil. But what if the movie shouted this truth instead of merely speaking in parables? What if it became mind-numbing apparent? I'm scrolling up, look away if it bothers you, okay? He says, if I had told you 7 years ago that Satanists were behind the scenes at modeling companies like Balenciaga or stores like Target, you would have called me a conspiracy theorist, but now it's undeniable. The truth is unveiling itself like never before. In other words, the unveiling, the red pilling is happening without friends and frogs having to try to wake people up anymore. Scrolling down, I want to share the ending with you because I thought it was beautifully said. Okay. My urgent plea stopped, if you'd like to look back and read along with me. My urgent plea for those experiencing heavy burnout is this: don't overdo it. You're not supposed to. As far as I'm concerned, it's as if we are on a track that cannot be moved, and we are moving through this story unshaken. In other words, nothing can stop what's coming, and you don't have to put more of a burden on yourself than necessary. Once you understand that nothing you do will stop the unveiling, you can find some semblance of rest. Lean on a conspiracy theorist's shoulder, friend's shoulder, and let them give you comfort. Take encouragement from our community. We've made such incredible leaps and bounds in the awakening, it's almost inconceivable to think about. The red pills are distributing themselves now via the show, and you're just along for the ride. I truly believe that God is still doing wonders. I'd love it if you joined me. And if you're one of my regular viewers, you know that I have a set of those shoulders you can lean on too, okay? I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it to win it. I understand that this is an effort to free our world, not just to clean up one country. I understand that humanity has been enslaved and the process of our emancipation takes a while. That involves military strategy and campaigns. And military strategy and campaigns advance based on objectives met and other markers that don't involve calendars. Now we hope the calendar says soon, soon, soon. Even during the making of this video, I wouldn't mind if the internet went down for 10 days. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. It will when the time is right. And in the meantime, I like how that blogger shared that red pilling is happening just based on the movie going on in our culture, okay? With endorsements that would not have been even possible a few years ago. And retail stores taking obviously unprofitable stances. I mean, it's mind-boggling. It's still mind-boggling to me. Okay, well, here's what I want to do. So since several of the blog entries that I pointed you towards talk about the resilience, let's ask the cards about those of us that are awake. Is there information and insights on how we can be more resilient and be more available to others who are waking up? Let's see if the universe has some insights or information for us about that resilience skill, you know, and maybe we're just going to get a compliment, the well done, people, you're doing it. Okay. I hope so. But let's see what the universe has to say about resilience and advice and insights on those of us to grow it and share it. Okay, resilience, insights and information for those of us that are awake. First card, King of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. I'm not surprised to see a lot of the higher cards showing up here. Judgment, Magician, Queen of Pentacles, Three of Wands, the Empress. Okay, it's a good question to ask. We've got 1, 2, 3 major arcana showing up, and lots of what are considered the royalties parts of the suit, which usually that's when you're getting into well-developed and mature energy that is highly skilled and has rock solid traits. So we were looking for insights and information about our resilience, how to grow it if it still needs to grow. And I think that should kind of be a lifelong process. And then how to share it with others. Okay, so our question was indicated by the King of Pentacles, clarified a little bit by the Queen of Wands. That's telling me, again, good question. It's a question that we were wise to ask. It's a trait we're wise to be asking more about. The Queen of Wands is she's a truth teller. She's very, she indicates almost blunt honesty at times. You know, there's times you just have to say, no, that theory doesn't work for me. No, that regulation is not legal. I don't want to comply. I will not comply to it. And so we are kind of being indicated by those cards, and it's very heartening. Now, in the past, okay, the Judgment card shows up for the recent past. Oftentimes with the Judgment card, it's talking about reviewing past choices, which is kind of what we're doing here. We're saying, okay, we've woken up, we've learned how to think for ourselves, use our discernment. We realize that there's no calendar dates to throw out there that are going to be reliable. In fact, that's one of the things that is a red flag when someone does those. And we understand again that this is a military and involves the entire human race. We've used good judgment with that. Now, as far as what we're doing here, judgment's also about some self-assessment. That's again what this question is about. How can we grow our skills if we still need to for resilience, and then be available and share them with others? Now, the Magician is telling us we can manifest as much as we want of whatever attribute we need to make it through these complicated times. He is all about manifesting, and there's a certain balance to it. There's a balance of the higher and the lower realms, so the practical, the reality, and then the psychic and intuitive realms. And that all of the elements are available for that manifesting. We only have to claim them and use them with some wisdom. Those of us that are awake, we have a degree of wisdom, and the universe is really happy with us. Let me just put it that way. That we not only chose to be here at this time, but we went ahead and woke up and we stood our ground. Sometimes standing your ground, even if you're not advancing it, is a win in itself. Now let's look ahead at the near future, because this is advice looking forward, okay? It all looks really beautiful. We got the Queen of Pentacles here, and she embodies objectivity and security and generosity and abundance. Again, that we will have in abundance anything we need to make it through this time as growing souls, as thinking, awake and aware human beings. Okay. We're also getting told that the new path is opening up for us for humanity, and that we're part of that. We are a big part of that. The Empress, while not in card placement for this reading, while not the major insight and information card, she's showing up again, kind of affirming that part of this process is it's the blooming and emergence of divine feminine energy in our world to help bring it back into balance, not to take over, not to usurp, but to take it, bring us back into a balance and alignment, which is really, really a beautiful thing to think about. Let's get a couple of the cards and see what's being told. So we're told, hold the line, realize you've got more, you can manifest more if you need more, and you will have at your disposal anything you need to stay resilient, to stand your ground, to have the grit and determination to continue to be awake and think for yourself and discern what's right, what's true, and what's not, or what's a mix and needs to be mulled over more. Ooh, the Devil. And then the Four of Pentacles. Interesting combination here. Often the Devil speaks about not so much evil, but temptations. Okay. And so we're being told, well, we can manifest things. Be careful what we manifest. Don't get into temptation. Don't get worldly. Okay. Again, you're looking for resilience, the ability to stand up straight and tall, raise your hand in a vote without looking to see if anybody else is joining you in that vote. That kind of resilience. Don't misdirect your energy. Okay. And that's, I say that because the Four of Pentacles is about careful use of your resources. So while we have resources that are available to us for our discernment, for manifesting, for resilience. We need to be careful about the use of those, okay? If we know we're headed to a light-filled path and we're on a light-filled objective, like help me to be more resilient so I can help others, help me to find the positivity in a situation so I can point it out to others, help me to share truth in a logical, if not eloquent manner, that's marshaling your energy and knocking in and asking for something that would be a temptation that could divert you. Gonna get a couple more cards here, see what's going on. Now remember, I'm sorry, I've got a cat that's chiming in and saying this is an important topic. We have the Queen of Pentacles for the near future card. We've got more pentacles showing up nearby here with this. This is a card of generosity. In other words, be willing to share. But remember, he's got the scales of balance here. So he is not just tossing his money out to where it's, or his resources out to where it's out of balance, out of kilter. When someone's awake or ready to discuss a subject, go ahead and help them. Help them to think through the topic, share resources with them. Ultimately, there's going to be a lot of celebrating and changes in our world that take it from dark to light. And we're a big part of that. Those of us that are awake and holding the line, standing our ground and saying we're in it to win it. And it's for humanity. It's for our little ones. It's for freedom. It's for emancipation. All of those are good things. And all of those we have divine, even off-world, and other help that we can't even fathom at this point, but we are being helped and cheered on as we go through this process. So we were asking the universe to give us insights and information on the ability of resilience, the skill of resilience, the virtue of resilience, and if there was insights and information that we should share with others. Well, one of those things that were shared was that link that I showed you to that blog site, which I think you'll find there's a content there that will encourage you and intrigue you, and that you'll find worth your time. Then we got several major arcana showing up as we discussed this. We're recapping here. Okay. One of the things was just a nod that in the process of waking up, we used good judgment. We evaluated and compared past, present, future. We compared narratives, and we came away waking up and slowly learning to accept some truths that hadn't been shared with us previously, and being willing to confront the fact that we were going to have to sometimes stand alone to stand our ground. We're getting reassured, though, that the process of resilience, we have everything we need to make it happen. Okay, and lots of support. The card talking about security and abundance with the Queen of Pentacles in the near future. So it looks like our outcome is really good for this. The Empress also showed up, a nod to the divine feminine coming back into reality in our world so that there's more balance. Okay, and we really need that. It needs to be a non-threatening concept to people that divine feminine is joining the planetary stage of energy to bring it into balance. If you have a set of barbells and one side's got 100 pounds on it and one side has 10, it's really not in balance. It may still be a barbell, but it's not in balance. So we're bringing things back into balance. And the maternal energy is that nurturing part of us, that selfless love, that it's the, can't explain it, I can just feel it. When I think of divine masculine, which can still be present in either gender, with the divine masculine, you have a strength to your protectiveness. You have a robust resolve. Whereas with feminine, divine feminine, you still have that protectiveness, but it shows up in a different way, and manifests in different ways. And like I said, the two together are beautiful and unbeatable. It's the perfect blend, and we haven't had it in our world. So let's celebrate that it's coming into being. So You've got some reading you can do if you choose to. I've shown you how to hopscotch your way to that site. That particular creator also apparently has a Telegram channel. But again, since they've been booted off different platforms, I thought you might like to know where. I think you can be able to find that creator on that blog site pretty consistently and without finding them suddenly gone. Okay, so that's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time and attention, and until next time, as always, I send you love and light and all things bright. Bye.